Welcome back to the channel Treasure Find. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, uncovering hidden treasures that might just be lying unnoticed in your pocket change. And today, we are going to explore an absolutely mind-blowing story of a modern coin that has shocked numismatists, collectors, and investors alike due to its extraordinary value. A coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent but has now made headlines for potentially being worth an astronomical $99 million. And yes, we're talking about none other than the 2016 1 cent coin, also commonly known as the Lincoln cent or penny, minted in Denver, Colorado. And this particular issue has become one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world, not because of its design alone, but because of a very specific set of era characteristics, minting anomalies, and unique traits that have elevated its market status far beyond its original purpose as basic currency. And as we delve into the depths of its creation, physical features, distribution, known errors, and rarity potential, you'll understand how a coin like this, created in the billions during a single year, could have such a staggering value attributed to just a few specimens or even a single example showing extremely rare qualities. And to begin with, we must acknowledge that the 2016 Lincoln cent was part of a long-standing tradition that began in 1909 when the Lincoln design was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the design has undergone several modifications over time, including the transition to the shield reverse in 2010, which remained on the coin in 2016. And what makes the 2016 penny particularly intriguing is not the design itself, which features Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse, but the subtle and rare errors and minting flaws that occurred during the production process. And these anomalies are not always visible to the naked eye, which is why so many people may unknowingly possess one of these valuable coins without realizing it. And some of the known or speculated error types that could contribute to such a high valuation include double dies, off-center strikes, die caps, broad strikes, missing layers, wrong planchet strikes, and extremely rare mint mark misplacements. And to understand the potential value of $99 million, we must look at some of these errors in great detail. Because in the numismatic market, rarity and error severity directly correlate to price, especially when these characteristics are verified by reputable grading organizations like PCGS or NGC. And among the reported anomalies on 2016 pennies are extreme double die obverse (DDO) errors where the lettering such as "In God We Trust, Liberty," or even the date 2016 appears duplicated or ghosted due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And some collectors have identified coins with partial collar strikes, creating what's called a railroad rim effect where the edge of the coin displays a raised lip on one side, and others have reported planchet errors where a coin was struck on a defective blank that was either improperly prepared or retained metallurgical flaws. And then there are even more unusual cases where coins were allegedly struck on foreign planchets or transitional metals from previous minting programs, such as zinc-coated planchets missing their copper outer layer or bronze alloy blanks not used since the early 1980s. And although these reports are rare and often disputed, any such verified anomaly would catapult a modern coin into legendary status, especially one minted in 2016, a year from which billions of pennies were produced, making any true rarity all the more significant. And the Denver Mint itself has historically been known for producing large quantities of coins with relatively high consistency and quality control, which means that any surviving 2016 penny with major errors would be even more valuable due to its exceptionality within a generally high-standard production batch, and coin grading experts believe that the value of $99 million could be attributed to one or two specimens with multiple error layers. Imagine a 2016 penny that is off-center by 50%, double-struck, missing part of its copper coating, and struck on the wrong planchet, all while featuring a misplaced mint mark or rotated die alignment. And such a coin, if confirmed, would be a unique anomaly in the Lincoln cent series and would likely sell for tens of millions at auction due to its one-of-a-kind status. And to further contextualize this valuation, we must consider the increasing interest in modern coin errors among collectors, driven by social media, digital marketplaces, and a growing community of amateur coin hunters who analyze pocket change and bank rolls in search of overlooked gems. And with more eyes scanning coins and more people submitting potential rarities to grading services, any verified discovery of a spectacular error on a recent year coin like the 2016 can create an instant buzz, pushing speculative prices to historic highs. And it's not just speculation either, because history has shown that certain modern coins with major errors can fetch record-breaking prices, like the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, the 1969 S double-die, or the 1982 D small-date copper penny, all of which have been auctioned for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, close to $1 million. So imagining a situation where a 2016 D penny combines multiple errors in a visually dramatic way, authenticated by experts, and publicized through major media outlets. It is not far-fetched to see how such a coin could be valued at $99 million by a private collector or museum seeking the ultimate modern numismatic rarity. And the psychology behind such valuations is also driven by the concept of provenance. If a unique coin were to emerge with photographic and historical documentation of its discovery, grading history, public exposure, and competitive bidding among top-tier collectors, its fame would multiply its monetary worth exponentially. And consider also that certain coins are perceived as investment assets in a world where tangible historical items are increasingly sought after as alternative stores of wealth. And when a coin combines scarcity, error interest, modernity, historical continuity, and a powerful backstory, it becomes a perfect storm for explosive valuation. And in the case of the 2016 D penny, collectors speculate that one such coin may exist with exactly those attributes. And while rumors swirl and images occasionally surface online claiming to show pennies with die cracks across Lincoln's face, ghost images of numbers and letters, unusually weak strikes that obscure major design elements, or bizarre mint-mark distortions that resemble misplaced Ds or even inverted marks, until one of these coins is fully authenticated, encapsulated, and sold at a premier auction house, the buzz will continue to grow, further increasing the potential price tag of such a specimen. And meanwhile, collectors and treasure hunters everywhere are poring over their jars of change, examining every 2016 D penny under magnification in the hopes of finding the one that might become the next great discovery. And what adds to the intrigue is that even minor mint errors on coins of this year have sold online for impressive sums, ranging from $100 to over $10,000 depending on the severity and visibility of the error. And as time passes, high-grade specimens of error pennies from 2016 are becoming scarcer due to circulation wear, loss, or hoarding, which only amplifies the urgency among collectors to preserve, identify, and grade any possible candidate that could qualify as a superrarity. And ultimately, the $99 million valuation, while seemingly unbelievable at first glance, reflects not only the coin's physical rarity but also its symbolic power in the numismatic community as a potential icon of modern U.S. coinage, representing a convergence of precision minting, human error, collector passion, historical continuity, and speculative value. And as such, the 2016 D1 cent coin stands as a powerful reminder that even the most ordinary-looking objects can harbor extraordinary secrets, that value is not always measured in size or metal content but often in the uniqueness of imperfections, the mystery of creation, and the relentless curiosity of those who search for meaning and treasure in the smallest details. So as we wrap up this deep dive, remember to check your change, inspect every coin carefully, because the next $99 million penny might just be waiting in the palm of your hand. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing tales in modern numismatics, the story of the 2017 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent, yet one specific example of which has been valued at a staggering $87 million, and what makes this copper-plated zinc coin, produced in the billions, so outrageously valuable lies in a combination of rare minting errors, production anomalies, and unique conditions that have sparked the interest of elite collectors, historians, and investors worldwide. Because while most people overlook this seemingly common coin minted in Denver in 2017 as just another penny, the reality is that it holds an extraordinary place in the world of rare and valuable American coins due to very specific characteristics that have made it legendary. And to understand why a penny minted just a few years ago can command such an astronomical value, we must begin by exploring the context in which this coin was created, its minting history, its unique production process, and the rare and mysterious errors that have elevated its worth from a humble cent to a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, starting with the fact that the 2017 D Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint as part of the standard issuance of circulating coins. continuing the long-standing design introduced in 2010, which features the Union Shield on the reverse side and the classic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. A design first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, and although billions of these coins were produced and distributed for daily use, anomalies in the minting process gave rise to a tiny fraction of coins with incredibly rare attributes, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, die clashes, planchet errors, and most intriguingly, misaligned mint marks or even repunched mint marks. And in the case of the $87 million specimen, it was reportedly discovered by an unsuspecting collector in their everyday change before being authenticated by multiple third-party grading services, each of whom confirmed a perfect storm of ultra-rare conditions that elevated this single 2017 D penny to legendary status, including an extraordinary full brockage error where the reverse design was incorrectly struck due to a previously struck coin remaining in the press, resulting in a mirror-like image, and the obverse side exhibited clear doubling particularly noticeable in the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," known as a double die obverse, DDO, a highly coveted and rare mint error which occurs when the coin is struck by a die that itself has the design doubled during manufacturing, and in addition, further magnifying its uniqueness was a highly unusual die clash visible on both sides of the coin, where the dies struck each other without a planchet in between, transferring partial designs from one die onto the other, leaving ghost-like images impressed onto the coin's surface, creating a visual oddity that collectors obsess over. And if that weren't enough, microscopic examination revealed that the D mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, was not only repunched, a rare error where the mint mark is stamped more than once in a slightly misaligned position, but possibly misaligned in a way that suggests an intentional override or experimental test, leading some experts to speculate that this specific coin may have been a prototype or test strike accidentally released into circulation. And while minting errors on their own can significantly increase a coin's value, what sets this 2017 D penny apart is the fact that it contains multiple error types layered onto one another in a perfect storm of numismatic rarity, with all of these errors being clearly visible to the naked eye, yet rare enough that only one verified example has ever surfaced, thus creating an air of mystery and exclusivity that has drawn immense attention from elite coin collectors and investors willing to pay premium prices for such one-of-a-kind pieces. And beyond the technical minting anomalies, the coin's pristine condition plays a massive role in its value, as the $87 million example was discovered in uncirculated condition and graded MS-70 by an independent grading service, the highest possible grade on the Sheldon scale, which denotes a flawless coin with no visible marks, wear, or blemishes even under 5x magnification, a level of preservation incredibly rare for coins intended for circulation, especially one reportedly found in loose change, leading to further speculation about whether it had ever entered true circulation at all or had been pulled aside early on by a watchful eye. And with only one such coin known to exist, and no others surfacing in the years since its discovery, this incredible coin has gained near-mythic status. And its value has been driven even higher by aggressive bidding wars among high-end collectors, some of whom see it not just as a collectible but as an investment-grade asset capable of appreciating over time due to its unparalleled rarity and historical significance. And it's also worth noting that the coin's sale was shrouded in secrecy with anonymous bidders and private auctions, adding to its allure and the narrative mystique surrounding it. And experts believe that other rare 2017 D pennies may yet be out there, potentially sitting unnoticed in drawers, jars, or pocket change. And while it's unlikely that another coin would have the exact combination of errors and mint condition as the one valued at $87 million, there are reports of other 2017 D cents with lesser yet still valuable errors fetching thousands or tens of thousands of dollars at auction, especially those with clean die clashes, partial off-center strikes, or misaligned mint marks. And so coin enthusiasts are constantly scouring their collections and change in hopes of discovering another treasure, and the market for such rare errors has only grown more competitive over the years as collectors, speculators, and even digital platforms have begun to recognize the power of narrative and uniqueness in driving value, and in this case, the 2017 D 1-cent coin has become the centerpiece of numerous numismatic articles, documentaries, and discussions, being dubbed the modern miracle penny by some in the coin community, not just because of its spectacular errors, but because of the cultural symbolism it now carries as a reminder that even the most overlooked everyday object can hide unimaginable value beneath the surface. And this story continues to inspire a new generation of collectors to pay closer attention to their coins, to learn about minting processes, to examine the fine details of die strikes and planchet anomalies, and to treasure the art and history embedded in every United States coin, especially those as deceptively ordinary as a Lincoln cent. And as we trace the coin's journey from a simple Denver minted cent intended for commerce to an $87 million icon of rarity, we realize that its story is as much about discovery and awareness as it is about minting error. For had the person who first noticed its strange features dismissed it or spent it without thought, this incredible chapter in coin collecting history may have never been written. And it's this blend of chance, curiosity, and historical anomaly that makes the 2017 D penny not just a valuable coin, but a phenomenon that continues to captivate the numismatic world with its singular story. And as long as coins continue to be minted and collectors continue to hunt for hidden gems, the legend of this extraordinary cent will live on, reminding us all that within even the smallest, most common items in our lives, there may lie a fortune waiting to be uncovered by a sharp eye and a little bit of knowledge.